Yo, it's your boy T-Lad, and today we're gonna be talking about 5 things that can, that you do every day that can actually lower your testosterone. The first thing that can, lower your testosterone is the type of clothes you wear. You wear clothes every day, right? So it's like important that you don't wear polyester. You should only wear in cotton. In polyester, there's plastics, and when you're in the sun, that shit heats up in your skin, right? And that goes into your skin. And then imagine that goes into your balls, like, bro. You don't want your balls. That's how you produce children, bro. That's how make your testosterone. You don't want that shit to be fucked up. So protect your balls and wear some cotton underwear. I'm gonna keep this straight up point. The second thing is like everyday products. So like shit like shampoo, body wash, conditioner, even like fragrances. You should try to avoid that. I'm not saying don't wear deodorant. I still wear deodorant, right? You can find a good brand, right? I don't really know any good brands. You have to find that yourself. I'm not gonna promote some products, right? Because they could change. They can change ingredients, right? You have to find it. You have to keep checking. Like, bro, I remember I was eating dates. My mom bought some dates, right? The food. There's like vegetable. They cooked it in vegetable. I'm like, bro, why is there vegetable oil in dates, right? You have to be careful with ingredients and everything at this point, because that shit is made to lower your testosterone. But anything like, bro, they have fragrances. It's hella estrogenic. Yes, it may make you smell good, but it's temporary. If you optimize your hormones or a fat ass. I remember when I was fat, I used to smell like shit. But now, I'm decently fat. I'm not trying to, flex or anything, but like, before I was a fucking loser. I wish I had some pictures. I'll ask my mom, send me some. Like, she has some older younger, pictures of me when I was younger, but that shit can, lower your testosterone. And you're probably like, oh, how am I gonna keep my hair clean? Bro, all you need is a shower filter, right? That gets rid of like literally heavy metals, chlorine, all that bullshit, right? And that will clean your hair. Just rub your hair with, not warm water, not cold water, just like in the middle, I do a little bit cold. Like, it's like cool, and that cleans my hair. And it doesn't leave it frizzy. I basically don't use shampoo or conditioner unless I fall into a puddle or I'm doing some crazy fucking shit. Then yeah, I'll use it. It's like candles. So any like scented candles, this could go with like number 2, right? But these scented candles that can actually, lower your testosterone. Number 3 is water. You drink water every day, and I feel like no one mentions this because like water is really like important. Tap water has a bunch of BS. There's estrogens because girls now they take birth control, right? And when they piss that out, that goes into your water, and you're drinking that water, that's gonna make you estrogenic and low test, right? So you want to avoid that. There's a bunch of heavy metals, it's a bunch of bullshit. And if you're broke, okay, it's fine, right? The money and the financial side, you should definitely invest in some better water. Spring bottled water is all you need. Obviously, food and all that can lower testosterone, but I think that, deserves a video on its own, so I'm not gonna mention it in this video. But the 4th everyday product that I believe lowers your testosterone, and it is proven that it lowers testosterone, is your phone or your laptop. If you always have your phone in your pocket or your laptop on your lap, you're literally heating up your balls, which is shown to lower your test. Even like saunas. People do saunas, I think they're complete bullshit, because it's not natural. You can't really find this in nature unless you go to a fucking volcano, which... Are you really gonna go to a volcano? Like, come on, bro. But, you're heating up your balls, and you produce much testosterone when you're in a cold room, right? When you sleep in a cold, not too cold obviously, but sleep in a cold and dark room, your balls produce more testosterone or sperm, right? So you don't want to be heating up your balls, right? And the signals, yes, they actually do. Even like things like, wireless earbuds. I'm a victim. Not a victim, but I do be wearing wireless earbuds anyway, get some wired earbuds, because they, I don't know the science behind it, but they do, deliver like waves of, and it fucking lowers your test. So just avoid that. I remember beside the microwave, I'll tell you a story, right? So I was beside the microwave, right? I was listening to music while around my wireless earbuds, right? Whatever. I turned on the microwave, right? And my phone was like, on the kitchen counter or whatever. And then like the music didn't play properly, right? But when the microwave stopped, it started playing properly. So that's how like it's bullshit. And microwaves, they can actually, cause some damage apparently, right? I mean, I mean, if it heats up your food like that, it surely there has to be something that it does, you know? Heat can actually lower, you know, it actually can kill the micronutrients of foods, but that's a whole nother video. I'm not trying to get too off topic here. It can't be a testosterone video without mentioning microplastics. You know, everyone talks about microplastics, and yes, they do have a point. You know, it can leach into your food or your drinks, right? It's used everywhere. You know, if you're getting soy flux, I call it soy flux, but Starbucks, right? If you go to Starbucks, it's in a plastic cup. They use cheap ass water. You know, bullshit ass coffee beans. I believe coffee is bullshit. You know, I eat dark chocolate, right? But like, I am really like, it's not, you know, it's not a main thing in my diet. You feel me? My main shit is meat, some fruit, some eggs, some raw honey. But other than that, I don't really, you know, eat chocolate like that. It's just a nice, you know, thing to have. But, you know, if you're getting a bunch of plastic in your diet, things like, that's gonna, you know, it makes you lower test. I think we all know this by this point, but like shit like plastic water bottles, right? Especially put it in the sun, or like, you know, there's like lemon, which is acidic, right? When you have those like acidic drinks, or even like things like cans, right? It can make it leach into the can or whatever. You get the point, right? Like, you know, Teflon pans, which is like a forever chemical, it's kind of like plastic. I'll just keep it in the same category. Don't raise your cortisol, right? Don't be too like all this, oh, I touched the receiver, oh no. Okay, it's not the end of the world, relax. We all fucked up, right? My stupid ass accidentally drink booze when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I was like always ready for apple juice. But now you know, right? Now you know that, okay, it's bad for me, so I'm gonna stop doing it, right? So yeah, it's your boy, T-Lad. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time, bro.